Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about what addiction takes away from us. Many times, I wondered what it is exactly that addiction takes away from us. I would think about it and I would go into detail as a drinker and try to figure out what it was that my drinking was causing me. And when I got to a point where I was in therapy and I was working these issues out, I was working through my anger and trying to work on my communicating skills and work on better communication with my wife and daughters. I started to question what my drinking and what my problems were really causing me, my drinking problems. And so I got to a point where when I quit, I really just looked at addiction as if it was something that was number one in our life, something that everything else is second to. I started to realize that my drinking was more of an addiction than a habit. Most of my drinking life, I would just say, I could quit one day. It's just kind of a habit. I like to drink and I like to watch sports or watch movies or just kind of sit around in the backyard and have a bonfire and drink. But as I got sober and the weeks and the months went by, I started to recognize that what I really was having was an addiction to alcohol because it wasn't just the drinking that was the problem. It was the waking up at 3 a.m. with anxiety and not feeling well, maybe nausea, maybe all those symptoms that you have, headache, and going back to sleep and never really feeling rested when I got up. And I started to recognize that I wasn't able to take care of my basic needs. So number one, alcohol addiction takes away our ability to take care of our basic needs. I found that halt was a big thing. Hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. And if I could recognize one of those things or a few of those things or all of them, I could get a handle on it and I could get through the urges to drink early on in my sobriety. Um, when I was a drinker, most of the time before I got married, anyway, lonely was a big one. And I was watching something recently, and it reminded me of a time where I really drank to drown out the lonely feelings I had. I felt like I wasn't finding the right partner. I wasn't finding the right friends. I had a hard time meeting people, and I started to recognize that these lonely feelings are not right. They're not healthy, and I need to kind of work on that. Now, that wasn't the solution to everything for me. I mean, I met my wife eventually in my 30s. We got married and things moved along well for me in that. But it didn't solve my issue of my own loneliness really because as time went on, I started to isolate with my drinking and kind of just want to be off on my own and not spend time with my wife or with people. And I recognized that that was not a healthy way of living. That's the way that I lived as a single person, and I didn't want to revert back to that. And that's what I had been doing. So once I was able to kind of get control of that aspect of things, I started to recognize that I can actually do this. I can get healthy. I can stay sober, and I can move on with my life. So the addiction portion of it really is a huge thing because a lot of people don't really acknowledge that their drinking is a problem. And I find that even if you're just a moderate drinker, if you take any solace in alcohol at all, and you think about it, and it's something that you kind of obsess over, like happy hour or when I get to this time and with my friends and I'm drinking, everything will be better. I can't wait to get to a better situation in my day when in reality, um, that kind of thinking takes away from the moment, you know. If it's torturous to be at work, then that's a problem. If it's torturous to be around people that care about you, or just people in general, that's not healthy. That's not good. And if you think that, you know, just getting to that drink is going to make everything better, that's a sign of an addiction. And I obsessed over alcohol. I'd wake up thinking about what I was going to have later in the day, what time I was going to start drinking, how much I was going to drink, how much could I have, and when can I start so that the next day I don't feel god awful, and I can function. And I went through that every single day. And even though the alcohol caused me problems the next morning, once I was able to shake off those feelings, I started that whole process over again. And it just didn't feel very good, you know. Uh, so number two, addiction just takes away the joy of life. Um, when I got sober and I was off of work, it was at the beginning of the pandemic. I had another 6 weeks before I went back to work. And when I got back to work, I really appreciated being there. I liked my job to begin with, but it was more of an appreciation once I got back that, hey, I have this job. They want me back. They need me back, and I'm not drinking. And I was able to cure that. And so the joy that comes with actually being present in every moment is something that gives back. You know, it's like alcohol takes everything and takes away your joy, but being present in the moment and not thinking about alcohol anymore at all, um, is just a way of gaining back that ability to be joyful. And so those are a couple of the things that I noticed in my sobriety. There's a lot of talk in my forum right now of moderating. What's the problem with just having one or two? If you can be honest with yourself and you can get to a point where you know you can have one or two, would you want to do that? And for me, the answer to that is no, because um, I have no need for alcohol anymore. After a few months, I realized that, you know, life without it is better. And even though I go to functions where people are drinking and seem to be having a good time, I know in my heart that even if I had one or two, it wouldn't do anything for me. It wouldn't bring me any more joy than I'm already having in that moment. And I think that's the fallacy of alcohol, is that we think we're enjoying this moment with these loved ones or these friends or people that we enjoy being around, and we're sharing this moment with alcohol, and the alcohol is the focal point, when in reality it's really just being with them that's the main enjoyment. And so those are just a couple of the things I wanted to talk about today. I'll have more in the future about this. And wherever you are in your journey, take solace in the fact that you're here. I appreciate you being here, and I hope you all have a great day. Take care.